off. I arrived at work at 14:10, a bit after the start of my shift at 10 o'clock, but by that point I didn't care. It was raining, so we had far less tourists than common. Actually, we had uncommon tourists. There was a group of men with fedora hats, sunglasses, and black suits collecting things from the supervisor's cabin and talking to Hector. He had a different uniform on that day. "Hey, what's going on?" I said as I noticed those people were installing cameras all over the place. "Your level of clearance is not high enough for me to explain, Javier." "What?" Just kidding. We're installing cameras because the paranormal activity has increased significantly in the last week. Probably the all-time highest. If it gets worse, we're probably going to close the dangerous areas of the site. Hector, what's with your suit? I was promoted. I'm your supervisor now. What happened to... Oh. Shit. Yeah. It sometimes happens in our line of business. I'm used to it. Javier, when the men in black are gone, come to my office. I need your help with something again. He said. I tried to say something too, but he was called by one of the men in black and entered his office. 3 hours later, the suited people left. I entered Hector's office, a bit nervous. Last time I did what he wanted, I had a whole lot of trouble with the night inhabitants. He was sitting at his desk with a joint in his mouth and looking at some files. All of them had that same weird symbol of a circle and arrows I'd seen earlier. Some of them were clearly curriculums marked with the words verified below the concurrent photo. Why didn't you come to work yesterday, Javier? He said, with smoke coming out of his mouth. I didn't realize I didn't work the previous day. I spent all day rescuing my wife from that freak and then taking her to Supe. Why did the police find all the people in the bus but your wife? I don't know. I know you denounced the killer and ran over his legs, Javier. I know you took your wife with you. I honestly don't care where you took her. I just need to know one thing. How the fuck did you know she was there? He finished his joint. The demon is doing all of this, right? Don't believe him. He's lying to you. It's too dangerous for me to say anything more here. Can we talk in the safe room or outside the ruins? Okay. At shift's end, meet me in the cafeteria. Same one from last time at the city. Don't talk to anyone about this, and don't risk your life until you've talked with me. Something extremely bad is happening here in this place. I noticed he was already smoking another joint and had a worried expression. Well, nothing paranormal happened at first. The talk among everyone was about the barn mutilator, or whatever they called that maniac. Ironically, half of his skin was burned, and they had to amputate one of his legs. The police eventually called my phone. They said they needed to talk to me. But the only thing I didn't understand is why anyone hadn't mentioned to the police I had rescued my wife and taken her away. Anyway, half an hour before my shift ended, I was drinking a cup of coffee. Samir and Victoria suddenly entered the cuadrilla. Javier, we know this is a hard subject, and you're leaving in 3 days, but we want to say we're sorry, Victoria said. I never saw her so engaged to a conversation before. Yeah, I also lost a family member 10 years ago. I know how hard it is. I'm sorry, Samir said. I didn't know how to answer them. We're sorry about your wife, Samir said. But she disappeared years ago, folks. She's probably still alive. That maniac from the barn didn't kill all of them. Oh. So we're the first ones to deliver the news, right? When Victoria said that, I had the sudden urge to throw up. I left the cuadrilla in angst, in shock, and denial. ignoring them talking behind me. No, that couldn't be true. It couldn't. That motherfucker from the pit had tricked me. This can't be true, I said, sobbing, and fell to the grass like a stupid child. And then I heard footsteps behind me. I looked back. A very tall, completely white, faceless, humanoid creature was coming straight in my direction from the middle of nowhere. It was just walking, slowly. I immediately ran to the security shack where Samir and Victoria were. Hey, guys, what is that? The tears of horror were replacing those of sadness. There's nobody there, Javier. Are you okay? Samir asked. Maybe it's the shock, Victoria said while playing Candy Crush. No, Wait. There was a rule in the special security measures. I closed the door with my key and opened my manual. Measurements. Yes, they used the wrong word, Samir said. Oh, it's the stalker, Javier. He never showed up to an employee so recently hired before. Did you break rules or annoy whatever it is behind all this? Victoria asked. I don't know. Shit. Why can't I talk to our supervisor or go into the safe? I was about to finish that sentence when the safe room door was broken to pieces, and a person wearing what seemed like an ancient mining suit came out. What the fuck? They've never invaded the Quadria before, Samir said with obvious panic in his voice. Damn cell phones, the miner said. He had a pickaxe in his hands. Victoria barely had time to react. I opened and jumped out the window while Samir escaped through the door. I couldn't follow his route. The stalker was on it. I saw the hooded people again, but this time they weren't so peaceful. They were menacingly walking in my direction. I ran to my car, listening to Victoria's screams of agony in the distance. When I reached the parking lot, only Samir's, Victoria's, and my car were there. Samir wasn't there yet, and the way he took was far faster than the one I had to take. I looked back a final time, I think hoping to see him, but I didn't. I just saw the miner, covered in blood, running after me. I entered the car and immediately started it, seeing him come closer and closer. And then I stomped on the accelerator. I looked back to see if I had managed to get rid of him. There was a pickaxe carved in the vehicle ceiling. Even after getting rid of those monsters, or whatever they were, I still felt a weird feeling, a weird presence with me. I tried to resist it for almost an hour, but I failed, and looked to the car's internal mirror. In the back seat, completely naked, was my wife. You were going to betray me with Hector, weren't you? She had Supei's voice. What the hell is wrong with you? I braked quickly and left my car, walking without direction in the foggy night road. I heard an old man laughing behind me. He was already at my side. Oh, poor Javi boy, what are you going to do now? Get into the safe room? It was destroyed. Call your supervisor? I killed her. And even if someone replaces her, you can't contact them when I unleash the stalker. It's in the rules, he said, trying to contain his laughter. I turned around to look at him, and he was in his classical form this time. I assume that's his true one. Didn't you want me to kill Celeste? I didn't do anything. I didn't betray you. Why are you doing all of this? Please, I just want to work 10 days and leave, I said, no longer holding the tears. Yes, it was going to be so funny. You were going to kill Celeste just to find out your wife was dead all along, and then I'd bury you with her. Or resuscitate her and kill her again in front of your eyes. But you ruined it all. He seemed extremely angry, but enjoying every single moment of it. Then who will kill him for you, you fucking asshole? I asked, no longer sad or scared, but furious. I never needed you to do anything. I can do it all myself. I was just feeling lazy. But your near betrayal angered me enough to make me get up and... He was suddenly run over by a car and thrown away. Samir, with half of his face covered in blood, opened the door. He didn't need to tell me anything. I was already in. The car sprinted through the road at least 3 times the higher maximum speed. I've already called Hector. He'll get in contact with his chief, Samir said, concentrated on the road. I hope he's fast enough. If he's not, the janitors and tourists will show up at the mountain tomorrow. We should focus on surviving, Javier. That thing is coming after us. All of us. He's not that powerful outside the mountain, is he? Is there anywhere for us to hide? I don't know. Only Hector's organization knows about that, and I'm not a member. He got offended when I refused to join and stopped talking to me. Probably he just picked up the phone because he's the supervisor now. Then I need to ask him. Don't. The stalker is after you. Get rid of him first. I'm taking you to the nearest cemetery. It's almost day 8 now, although I don't believe I'll get to work anymore. I'm using the time I have before we arrive at the cemetery to write this. Wish me luck. And as always, boys and girls, thank you for watching. If you liked today's story, give it a thumbs up. To hear more stories like this one, hit the subscribe button, making sure you turn on that bell for notifications of when I publish new stories every Tuesday and Thursday. To support this channel, click the link for our Patreon in the description box below. Until next time, sweet dreams.